Today on Studio One, it's amazing some of the things you will find in people's garages. One man's garage walls are lined with a special kind of art. Also, high school dance troupes are gaining in popularity. We'll spend a day in the life of a dance coach. And education can be a challenge in rural communities. We'll tell you how some schools are dealing with declining populations.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Hi everybody and welcome to Studio One. I'm Monty Cashel.
And I'm Kelly Anderson. Thanks for joining us today.
And it is a great day to join us because we are celebrating something. 250 shows.
It's kind of a big deal.
It is a big deal, and that, you know, might not sound like a lot of shows to some people, but it really is because it represents more than 14 years of doing this project.
14 years.
That's
I
right.
was still in grade school when you guys were
You were just a little
this
bitty girl, and we have a surprise later in the show. We get to talk to some people in our audience who were on the project from way back, so that should be fun. Before that, people often look for strategies to save money on their taxes. We'll tell you about one way you might be overlooking.
Also, we'll hear a real-life dream-come-true story. We'll talk to a man whose winning philosophy took him all the way to the top.
Before that, today's news with Leanna Anderson.
Thanks, Monty and Kelly. President Bush is urging Chinese leader Jiang Zemin to make his country a force for peace among its neighbors. The two leaders met in China and are working together to fight terrorism and unify the Korean peninsula. Cooperation has been made on many issues, however they do admit that they disagree on some things. A major dispute is the fact that the U.S. supports Taiwan, whereas China does not. Several other topics were also brought up during Bush's visit, including the sale of Chinese missiles and other weapons. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the trial continues for the couple whose dogs mauled a woman to death over a year ago. Marjorie Knoller is charged with second-degree murder in the death of Diane Whipple. Her husband, Robert Noel, faces lesser charges. The focus of the trial is now on the background of the animals. The judge is questioning whether or not the animals were bred to be killers. The veterinarian who vaccinated the dogs says he knew they were aggressive and dangerous and wrote a letter warning the couple. The slow economy and tight job market are causing a lot of concern for college seniors. Career service centers at many colleges are seeing an increase in students seeking their help. Many are afraid there will not be any jobs available when they graduate, and according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, these fears are legitimate. It recently conducted a survey of employers nationwide and found that companies expect to hire 20% fewer graduates this year. With this tough competition, colleges are working on ways to help their graduates find jobs. Many universities, more than ever before, are pushing students to get internships.
And that then opens doors for them as companies and organizations many times will fill their opportunities or their job needs through those individuals who have already worked with their company and organization.
Many colleges are also arranging practice interviews between students and employers, even though they do not have any jobs to offer. There's a new way to stay warm during the cold winter months that most people might find odd. The University of Georgia is testing the possibility of using chicken fat to heat their campus. Those behind the research say the fuel is safer and cheaper compared to burning coal and oil, and there have been no complaints about the odor. The fat gives about 90% of the heat of fuel oil, and scientists say with the nation's dependence on foreign oil, burning chicken fat, restaurant grease, and other biofuels could be an answer for the call to an alternative fuel source. As the tax season approaches, many people are looking for ways to keep more of their money. One way is to start keeping records when donating to a thrift store.
Each year, millions of Americans donate used clothing and household items to their local thrift store. Many of them don't think about collecting a receipt. Saving receipts can help ease the tax burden and potentially save money, but only if those who are giving take advantage of the option.
I know others that do that, so I would guess it's probably worth looking into to see on your income tax records if that's a valuable thing to do, and then it's worthwhile the time to do it.
The Internal Revenue Service allows charitable contributions to be used as tax deductions. Tax forms include a section where the fair market value of donated items can be listed. Experts say there are a few things to keep in mind when deducting charitable contributions from your taxes.
They should always get a receipt from the organization that they donated the goods to. Again, they should keep a detailed list of the items that they donated, And some organizations will help you out and provide you with a general guideline of what certain items may be worth as far as a fair market value goes.
Organizations such as the Salvation Army receive donations frequently. One employee says it is the responsibility of those donating to estimate the value and ask for a receipt.
It's up to them if they want a receipt or not, because not everybody takes the itemized deductions on their tax forms, you know, and some people don't know how to work it, so they won't get one at all.
The Salvation Army keeps receipts in case a person has lost their own. Charities like the Salvation Army say that most unwanted items can be worth more than people think, especially during the tax season. I'm Katie Munson, reporting for Studio One.
Organizations that work with donations say if someone is unsure how much an item is worth, there are many resources that can help. Classified ads, internet auction sites, and books can help determine value. And that's news for now. Monty and Kelly?
Thank you, Leanna. Well, we've certainly been just enjoying great weather.
We have been spoiled.
We have been. Everybody's been walking around in sweatshirts instead of heavy coats like we should be.
It's not bad at all. Let's go to the Regional Weather Information Center with Ryan Vipond and see what's coming up.
Hi, Monty and Kelly. Oh, it has been amazing the last week or so across the area with mild temperatures for mid-February. Will it last? We show signs of a changing weather pattern in our future. First of all, taking a look at our almanac here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Our low this morning was at 8 above, so normal for a change. Our daytime high this afternoon was at 44 degrees, so as you can see, that's above normal, but not quite a record set back to just 2 years ago. And our sunset tonight at 6:01 p.m. Currently in Grand Forks with a partly cloudy sky, we're at 44 degrees. Relative humidity sits at 40%. North winds now on the light side and pressure holding steady. Our regional temperatures across the upper Midwest and northern plains, mild for this time of year. 43 over in Fargo, 44 in Minot, 54 for a current temp in Billings, Montana, and a little bit cooler over in Duluth with a temperature of 27 degrees. Surface analysis across the country does show low pressure center here across sections of New England, causing some snow shower activity over the Great Lakes. It has a history of producing some snowfall across east central Minnesota the last couple of days. It's since shifted slowly off to the east. Meanwhile, high pressure in control across the west. They've seen a partly cloudy sky around Salt Lake City for the Winter Olympics today. Flying in from the west coast into the upper Midwest, mainly a partly cloudy sky across our area, just some scattered clouds shifting to the east over to the afternoon hours today. Not much in the way of precipitation. Friday's surface forecast across the area does get interesting as a low pressure center across the sections of southern Canada. Rain and snow initially out ahead of it, and cold temperatures and snow showers back behind this system. Friday's detailed forecast in Grand Forks. High temperature of 40 degrees with a chance of rain and snow and a mostly cloudy sky. Southwest to west winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Our weather IQ question is, what is the maximum recorded wind speed in the United States? Is it 179 miles per hour, 231, or 254 miles per hour? Monty and Kelly will have the answer to this question and a closer look at the extended forecast, which does involve some wind for our area later in the show.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Well, I think I liked Ryan a lot better a couple of minutes ago than I do right now.
It's not Ryan's fault if it gets cold, Kelly. Okay, let's go to sports news now with James DeGilder.
Thanks, Kelly and Monty. It's the PGA's version of the NCAA basketball tournament. The Accenture Match Play Championship has the top 64 golfers in the world taking aim at each other. Tiger Woods is going to the tournament ranked #1. To the highlights. To the 17th hole, Woods taking on O'Malley, and Peter O'Malley needs this putt for the win, and he just gets it to go and defeats Woods, who's the number one ranked golfer in the world. Now the 14th, and Scott McCarron uses a 4-iron on this 209-yard par 3, the longest par 3 on the course. He gets a nice bounce, it looks good, and oh, that's pretty. Hole-in-one, and he defeats Colin Montgomery. NBA hoops, Golden State at Philadelphia. Early first, and Iverson gets a circus shot to go, but the Sixers still trail by 1. However, later in the game, the Sixers would put it away when Iverson would hit 3 of his game-high 46 points. Sixers win 114-107. More round ball, Houston at Milwaukee. Robson gets the alley-oop and dunks it home. Now the 4th, Mike Red was the star of the game, who makes his 9th three-pointer of the game. He'd have 29 points in 8 minutes. Bucks win 115-76. With spring fast approaching, many hunters and anglers are getting excited about the summer outdoor season. Sports shows like the one in Grand Forks, North Dakota, give these people the opportunity to see new products for the upcoming season. Businesses from the surrounding area come to the show to display their merchandise. The Game and Fish Department also are on hand to inform people about the new rules of hunting and fishing. Tourist guides are available to give information about different lakes and campgrounds available for vacationing. People are able to look at pictures of the sites and see what each campground has to offer. One of the major attractions is the boats and RVs. The companies bring some to display so people are able to look at the actual product.
What they want to do is they want to go to the show that they think they can either get the most leads to sell a boat or a pontoon boat or a pontoon lift or a dock, or actually sell the unit right here.
Some people come to the show to buy, but many are there just to see what is new for the upcoming year. It's now time for the Studio One Sports Trivia question. And this week's question is, who is the only athlete to win gold medals in both the Summer and Winter Olympics? There's 4 good choices there. However, there's only one correct answer. We'll have that and more sports later on. Kelly and Monty?
Thank you, James. Coming up, we'll get a good look at some of your favorite celebrities and movie stars. And these famous people are all made of wood.
And this is the stuff great movies are made of. A teen's dream and a coach's vision lead to a national title, a prestigious award, and so much more. Stay with us.
The University of North Dakota College of Business and Public Administration offers real degrees for real people. Our nationally recognized faculty can help you earn a master's degree in business through evening classes.
Taking these evening classes were very convenient for me, and that's how I was able to complete the program.
We offer degrees for people who work, raise families, and lead busy lives. The UND College of Business and Public Administration, real degrees for real people.
Let the University of North Dakota become your strategic partner by providing your business with skills to enhance your workforce retention and productivity efforts. The UND Office of Workforce Development has extensive experience in conducting employee satisfaction research, workforce needs assessments, and the development of customized training materials. Call us for further information. Workforce Development, a service of the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
From our homes to our vehicles, nearly everything we possess holds some kind of value, be it monetary or sentimental. We take pride in making sure they last. But do we hold the same appreciation for nature's services that sustain us here on Earth?
The fish we take from our waterways, the timber we use to build our homes, the purification of the air we breathe and the water we drink, and the pollination of crops and natural vegetation are just a few examples of the services our planet's ecosystems provide. Because we have long taken for granted Earth's most fundamental life support services, their value often goes unappreciated. Imagine that you were planning to live on the moon. Which species from Earth would you need to take with you to sustain human life? Which ones are crucial for food, drink, and air? And what do those species need to survive? No one knows exactly which species are needed to sustain human life. Many of nature's services were developed by billions of years of evolution. As we alter our landscape for the betterment of society, we must ask whether current benefits draw down nature's capital, leaving an impoverished future, and whether benefits for some come at the expense of others. Each of us has a responsibility to preserve Earth's life support systems for ourselves as well as for our children and grandchildren.
The University of North Dakota. You can go anywhere from here. At UND, you'll find a challenging, exciting community that draws students from across the nation and around the world. The University of North Dakota offers 136 programs with outstanding faculty who will prepare you for your future. UND, an affordable, high-quality education that's nationally ranked. Your future starts here. Visit our campus and join the University of North Dakota community.
hard work, the support of a team, and of course, that perfect formula for success. These are all ingredients that have made champions out of the University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux football team. Here today is the UND head coach and the Division II National Coach of the Year, Dale Lennon. Coach Lennon, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
It's very good to be here.
Well, we just saw a clip of that just minutes after you guys had just won the Division II National Championship. And that was about 2 months ago now?
December 8th, I remember the date. So,
remember it pretty
yeah.
well. And so if that was a couple months ago, how vivid is that memory?
Oh, it's just a tremendous memory, something you still have to remind yourself that it really did happen. And we're going to have our banquet this Saturday, and it's something that we're looking forward to have all the whole team back together and just kind of relive everything and celebrate it, and then we'll move on from there, try to do it again.
Yeah. Well, there's obviously so much emotion involved in something like this. How does that affect your relationship with the players?
Oh, you really develop a very, very tight relationship with your players. You spend so much time with them. I think a lot of people don't realize how much time goes into the off season, and you know, they just see what happens on every Saturday with game day. But it really becomes a tight bond that will be a lifelong bond that you hope where you stay in touch with them throughout their lives, and this will always be something that we can fall back on.
Yeah. How did this all get started for you? How did you become a coach?
Well, kind of by accident. One of the situations, I was looking for a job after college, and I really wasn't having much luck. And Rob Bollinger, who was at the time the head coach at Northern State Aberdeen, and asked me if I wanted to be a graduate assistant for him, and thought about it for a while, said okay, and after that, kind of took off. So it worked out well for me.
So how do you do all this, Coach Lennon? What is your secret for success? Do you have a winning philosophy?
Well, it's pretty simple. I tell the team, you know, the three things I tell them is, you know, do your best, do what's right, and treat other people the way you want to be treated. And you know, it's nothing too complicated. You just go about it each day and try to do the best that you can. And along the way, you know, good things will happen. And that's what we kind of try to hold true to.
And you also received the Division II National Coach of the Year award. How were you selected for that?
Well, the Coach of the Year is voted by the AFCA, which is the American Football Coaches Association, so it is a vote of your peers. So that's kind of a neat deal on that end of it. Naturally, winning a national championship carries some weight as far as getting it, but that's not a guarantee. So, and when you have a season like we had, it's definitely going to deserve some recognition, and so it's a tremendous honor to the coaching staff. That's one thing. My name's on the plaque, but it's really a team effort as far as everyone going together on it, and it's just a good representation of the university and everyone that has a hand in this football program.
So what does that award entail? What do you get to do as Coach of the Year?
Well, there's some neat things that go with it. One of them, I was a guest coach at the Hula Bowl in Hawaii. So my wife and myself got to go to Maui for a week and coach Division I athletes with Division I coaches, and great experience, something that definitely would like to go back sometime and do that. And then you're on the speaking circuit a little bit more, you write a few more articles, so all that will go with it also.
Can you explain that Hula Bowl a little bit more? What is it like to work with those people?
It was just a great experience. The athletes, I was very impressed with their behavior and their attitude. They were all very positive. And then with the coaches themselves, I was fortunate to coach with Dennis Erickson, who's at Oregon State, Sonny Lubbock, who's at Colorado State, and then on the other side was Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, and then Steve Spurrier, who's now with the Redskins, had been at the University of Florida. And it's just fun to sit around a table and visit with them, and you know, it's kind of on a one-on-one basis, which you know, when you watch them on TV, you think that they're beyond approach, but you know, they're just guys like everybody else, so that was enjoyable.
So you've got the title, you're back from Hawaii. What are you doing now?
We're getting ready for next year. Everything starts over again. We just finished with the recruiting process. We signed a recruiting class, and right now all of our attention is getting ready for spring ball. We'll start our spring practices on April 3rd, and once you've achieved what we have achieved this past year, it's definitely something, our goals are still there, and we'd like to do it again.
So is it hard to kind of start over from scratch after you've been at the top like that?
No, it's not hard at all. It's something that you want to do. It's the competitive nature. You know, you really wonder, can you do it again? And that's one thing that you hope by the experiences that you've gone through, that it does happen a little bit easier here the next time, and we don't have to wait another 107 years to do it again. So pretty good chance I'm not going to be around, but I'm looking forward to the chance or the opportunity.
So does the team kind of have the same attitude, like now this is their title they have to defend?
Well, it's our title, and that's something too that it will carry a lot of impact, a lot of emotion going into the season. But I think the other thing, we graduated 18 seniors, so you have a lot of other players that want to take that challenge. Hey, we're capable too. This is our turn to play, and you know, we're going to put it on the line and get it done. So you know, there's a lot of motivation right now.
Yeah. So at the end of an incredible season like this, what is the best part of all of this?
Well, it's just knowing that you know, you did something as a football team. So many hours go into it, and you know, as a coaching staff with the players, the parents, it just is something so special. It's really hard to describe, but it's something that you'll always have to fall back on. And you know, it's one of those things that this season everything worked out the way it should have, and it was just a special season.
Well, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Thanks so much for coming on today, Coach.
Well, thank you.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at Kevin Costner's newest film. You'll hear what he has to say about the mysterious phenomenon of life after death. Also, we'll talk with a leader whose team is competitive, strong, and dedicated. They're also wearing tights and using pom-poms. Stay with us.
UND's Conflict Resolution Center is your regional training resource for conflict transformation and prevention. Conflict is inevitable in the business world. Your ability to manage it is key to your success. That's where we can help. We provide on-site training, mediation, and facilitation services customized for your organization. The UND Conflict Resolution Center, capturing the positive energy of conflict and transforming it into human potential.
Why should I go to the University of North Dakota School of Engineering and Mines? Is it the small class sizes and personal attention I'll get from the faculty and staff? Is it the hands-on student projects my friends and I will work on? Is it the professional internship programs that'll help me prepare for my future career? Maybe I just want to be a part of something amazing.
Find out for yourself what makes the UND School of Engineering and Mines the perfect choice for your engineering degree. Call 1-800-CALL-UND. That's 1-800-CALL-UND.
The University of North Dakota has a rich history of retaining and graduating American Indian students. UND offers 26 American Indian programs, more than any other higher education institution in the U.S. The support services provided by Native American programs enhance student success. Native American programs offer tutoring, academic advising, and financial aid assistance, which makes UND a leader in Indian education. For more information, call 1-800-CALL-UND.
The School of Law at the University of North Dakota. This is a unique place, a place where you can learn with some of the best technology, where you can talk to the faculty in small class settings, a place where student activity groups enhance your education, a place which offers interaction with the court system, an affordable place where you can gain all the skills you need to get a job. Take your place at the University of North Dakota School of Law. Phone 1-800-CALL-UND.
There has long been a debate to whether or not there is life after death. In the new dramatic film Dragonfly, Kevin Costner seeks an answer. Costner plays a respected trauma doctor who deals with death every day. His professional knowledge provides him with little comfort when his wife is killed on a medical mission in Venezuela. Reminders of her everywhere, including pictures of dragonflies, which were her personal symbol. He is convinced that this is her way of trying to contact him. His friends and co-workers start to wonder if the doc is cracking up. After filming Dragonfly, Costner reflects on his own life.
I hope that life is a continual journey, and that when I pass from this one, that I move into something that's as clear and as enjoyable as this life has been for all the little stumbles that one has. I've really enjoyed my life.
Director Tom Shadyac says in order for a character to feel great loss, they must have a fullness of life. Costner's bond with his children convinced the director that he would understand what it was like to feel loss. Dragonfly comes to theaters near you on February 22nd. Now time to take a look at the events happening in your area. You may recognize cheerleaders at sporting events trying to enthuse the crowd. Dance teams are less familiar. They are like cheerleaders, but dance is a sport in itself. Today we spend a day in the life of a dance team coach.
How?
Good, Kelsey.
Now I can't do that, and I'm sure most of you can't either.
little bit-
Dawn Thompson has been
I just need 'em,
dancing
like, fast. They can eat
competitively
later.
since she was in high school. She says she loves the thrill of competing in dancing.
5, 6,
Don't think for a
7,
minute that
8.
this isn't a
1,
sport.
2, 3,
Dawn says it
4,
takes a
5,
huge
6,
commitment on the part of the
7, 8.
dancers.
1, 2.
Big commitment, and you won't have any time left for boys, and you won't have any time left for any other activities you want to do. So we really have to deal it out like it's prison term.
Dawn supervises the girls' practices and helps in case of injury. She also books the travel accommodations for the team's numerous road trips to competitions. Dawn is not allowed to choreograph the team's dances. That is left up to the team captains. Senior captain Brittany Carter says she likes the connection between her coach and the dancers.
My coach is like my second mom. I see her more than I see my mother, and she's wonderful. She's awesome.
Dawn says the dancers have to be strong, flexible, and good-looking. She also says that dancing is so time-consuming that they discourage a lot of girls from even trying out. Dance is different from cheerleading, but it does borrow some techniques.
When I was on dance team, we would have never dreamed of using pom-poms. To us, that was a cheerleader thing. And I think as time goes on, what you see is you see the two groups gradually meshing.
The competitions can take you across the globe. When Dawn was in high school, her team traveled to Japan. You probably won't have to travel that far to see a dance team perform. They are gaining in popularity all over the country. With photographer Troy Clifton, this is George Hargreaves reporting for Studio One.
The size of a dance team can vary. On Dawn's high school team, there were 50 girls, and now she coaches a team of 9. The latest census showed that people from many rural communities are deciding to live elsewhere. We'll tell you what this means for rural education. Plus, many people's garages are full of junk. We'll meet one man who has filled his with unique artwork. That's story plus news, sports, and the updated weather forecast in the next half hour of Studio One.
Students from any major can build a great future through the entrepreneurship programs at the College of Business and Public Administration at the University of North Dakota.
It lets them meet with business people and spread their wings and do the research to see if their ideas really do work.
Well, this program is for everybody. Business coincides and integrates with any major out there.
Trust yourself, take action, discover the entrepreneurship programs at the UND College of Business and Public Administration.
Explore the educational opportunities available through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota. With just one phone call or a click of the mouse, you'll find high-quality programs designed for today's adults. We have a large selection of continuing education courses that are available at a time and place that's convenient for you. Discover a world of learning through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
Future a bit cloudy? Get a brighter picture at UND Aerospace and the University of North Dakota. World-class training programs endorsed by major airlines, an extraordinary fleet of aircraft, and learning facilities second to none make UND Aerospace the largest collegiate aviation program in North America. Begin your future in the aviation industry. Explore programs in space studies or computer science. Soar into the atmospheric sciences. It's all here at UND Aerospace. What's in your future? UND Aerospace, clearly the leader in aviation education.
Are you a parent looking for childcare? Do you know what good childcare looks like? Do you provide childcare and have questions? Does childcare affect your business? Do you have employees who are concerned about childcare? Doesn't every child deserve quality childcare? Any questions? Call Child Care Resource and Referral.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Welcome back to Studio One.
Thank you for joining us today.
Well, we have a packed house today, Monty.
We do. There are a bunch of people in our studio audience, and we're excited to see them here today.
Yeah, and you're not able to see them right now, but later on in the show, we're going to take you over there and introduce you to a few special members.
That's right, some of our alumni. Well, also coming up in the next 30 minutes on Studio One, there's been a lot of concern among educators recently about crowded classrooms. We'll tell you how some communities are dealing with a completely different problem.
Also, many a husband has puttered in the garage. We'll see how one man uses his time in the garage in a creative way.
And Studio One has reached a milestone. Today we are celebrating 250 shows. We'll take a look back at our beginnings, and that will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But first, today's news with Leanna Anderson.
Thanks, Monty and Kelly. In northern Georgia, searchers are continuing to find bodies that were supposed to be cremated. As of Thursday, authorities have found 242 corpses. They were found scattered around the Tri-State Crematory as well as behind the nearby house of its operator, Ray Brent Marsh. Of the remains, only 47 have been positively identified. Marsh faces 16 counts of felony by deception and could also face federal charges. Officials say that the growing search may take 8 months or more. In other news, an ex-Catholic priest has received up to 10 years for molesting a boy more than a decade ago. The boy, now a college student, testified that John Gagan touched him inappropriately in a pool. Gagan served Boston area parishes for 30 years before being kicked out in 1998. He still faces 2 criminal charges and dozens of civil lawsuits. More than 130 people have accused him of sexual abuse. With the recent collapse of Enron, some investors may have learned not to invest too much stock in one company. People who were employed by Enron and had most of their 401k within the company lost large amounts of money. President Bush is now trying to make sure something like that does not happen again. He is proposing that employees of a company should be allowed to sell company shares and diversify their portfolio after participating in their 401k plan for 3 years. One financial advisor in Grand Forks, North Dakota, says diversification is very important.
In the stock market, it is always wise to be diversified between sectors and between companies within those sectors. So it is just a matter of reducing risk and reducing market volatility.
Democrats in the House are also proposing several bills in response to the financial collapse of Enron. They hope to put limits on the percentage of a 401k account that can be held in one stock, and they will also propose to tighten the rules to prevent corporations from hiding strengths and weaknesses. Many young people searching for the perfect tan could be putting themselves at risk, especially if they use tanning beds. A study in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute found that people who use tanning devices were more likely to develop common types of skin cancer. The risk is especially high for those who use artificial lighting before the age of 20. Some researchers say young adults should have to sign a consent form acknowledging the risks, while others believe tanning beds should be closed to all minors. In rural states with dwindling populations, providing quality education can be a challenge. Some small districts are faced with the difficulty of deciding what to do to offer the best education to their youth.
Low school enrollment, teacher shortages, and minimal resources have recently been a concern in small school districts. In North Dakota, legislators are debating whether combining many smaller schools into a few larger ones is the answer. School consolidation has been an issue for many years, but projected decreasing enrollment and increasing costs are making that option necessary in some school districts. One North Dakota school is already trying to combat the problem. In Hatton, the school has combined resources with the neighboring school to offer more opportunities to their students, but it's uncertain how long the school can remain independent.
Well, on its own is going to be a question because I think the state's going to have a lot to say with that. Even though education is a local issue, I think the state is getting more and more involved and it's becoming more of an equity issue.
Combining resources is one way to share costs with other schools, but for some, school consolidation is their only choice. In 1991, the Annetta, North Dakota school closed its doors and the students went to neighboring towns. With residents now going in different directions for school events, the town has lost a lot of Main Street business. Losing the school also means kids from Annetta now must travel many miles to attend class.
It's tough. Kids ride a lot of miles in some of these buses. Some little kids are getting on, at 7 o'clock in the morning. So some of those first and second graders, I feel it's tough. It's a handicap.
So with the decline in enrollment and shortage of teachers, many schools are facing the same problems as Annetta. And for some rural areas, consolidation may be the only option. This is Haley Wamstead reporting for Studio One.
The North Dakota legislature has many options for consolidation. One proposal would combine North Dakota's 222 school districts into just 62. And that's news for now. Monty and Kelly?
Thanks a lot, Leanna. Well, our weather expert Ryan was talking about a hint of wind maybe coming into our area.
And even though we're not real happy with it, let's go back to the Regional Weather Information Center and see what Ryan Vipon has to say.
Hi, Monty and Kelly. Certainly some wind over the weekend here and ushering in some colder temperatures for the latter half of February as we move on into our current conditions here in Grand Forks. We have a partly cloudy sky and our temp sits at 43 degrees. Relative humidity now 41%. Winds north on the light side around 9 miles per hour. Pressure steady at 30.32 inches. Jet stream analysis out there for this 21st of February. We have a ridge across the west and some warmer air there. Colder air across the western and central Great Lakes as that storm exits off to the east. As we put this map into motion, the trough digs farther across central and eastern sections, and a cold Arctic air mass is in place across our area in the upper Midwest and northern plains for the beginning of next week. And what this means for us in terms of temperatures is below normal temperatures. In fact, we'll take a look at Saturday's highs. 30s for the most part, a little 40s hugging the south and eastern sections and 20s off to our north and west. Keep in mind, this is early highs earlier in the day on Saturday. Our temps will fall throughout the afternoon along with gusty north to northwesterly winds. For Sunday, quite a different story with teens and 20s across the region for daytime highs and single digits for highs not too far up off to our north and west. Extended forecast here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Friday, expect rain and snow mix and a high of 40 degrees. Saturday, our transition to snow showers and a high of 35 again earlier in the day with temps falling in the afternoon. Becoming windy throughout the day on Saturday into Sunday as well as Monday with on and off snow showers and high temperatures lowering into the teens and lows optimistically warm in the single digits by Monday. We could see some sub-zero weather if skies begin to clear. Our Weather IQ answer for today: what is the maximum recorded wind speed in the United States? If you answered B, 231 miles per hour, you are correct. That was recorded in Mount Washington, New Hampshire. So Monty and Kelly, as we take a look into the weekend of the early part of next week, a major weather pattern change for us with more Arctic air and some snow showers along with some wind.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Arctic air,
Wind,
not really what we want.
Showers. Well, you know, it's kind of back to normal again. We've
Yeah,
kind of
I
been
suppose.
spoiled this last little bit. We can take it.
Yeah,
we're
we're
tough. Okay, let's go now to sports news with James DeGelder.
Thanks, Kelly and Monty. Watching a Twins game is something baseball fans hope they can do for many years to come in Minnesota. Ever since the idea of losing the Twins to contraction became a reality, the fans have come out in full force to show their support.
The baseball team in Minneapolis is not just supported by the state of Minnesota. It has a fan base that reaches the surrounding states of North Dakota, South Dakota, and even Iowa. Each year, the Twins send a caravan out to these surrounding communities to show the fans that they do care about them and appreciate their support. This year is a little different because the Twins get to see what the fans are doing to help keep the Twins in Minnesota. When contraction was first brought up, the fans started a petition that got sent to the Commissioner of Baseball, letting him know how much the Twins mean to this part of the country.
You know, it's awesome to come out and see the support that we're getting, you know, with all the stuff that's been going on, you know, to have the fans rally behind us, you know, it's real meaningful.
The Twins will be taking the field this April, as a decision to contract will wait until the 2003 season. The manager for the Twins says they try not to think about it. It is just business as usual. But he does know they need to do something about the stadium issue.
We have to get a stadium. It's an automatic. I mean, if we don't get a stadium, we're going to lose Twins baseball. That's almost a given because they want to push us out of there. And if we can get a stadium plan in order and get that taken care of, we'll be fine.
The club thinks a new stadium could help them attract more fans for home games and help increase their revenue. The Twins did have a decent season last year. They won 85 games with a young, talented team. This is one of the big reasons why they are upset with the idea of contraction. One Twins fan says he doesn't understand how the league can get rid of a young team that is on the rise.
But I think you got these small towns that, you know, the little kids look up to them, and they want to be the next Kirby or the next Minkiewicz with these young players.
When Minnesota is playing baseball this spring, they can be certain that the Twins fans will be in the stands rooting them on.
Things are looking up for the team going into spring training. Current Twins owner Carl Pohlad has put the team up for sale, and there are interested buyers. New ownership could help secure funding for a new stadium. It's now time for the answer to this week's Studio One Sports Trivia question. This week's question is, who is the only athlete to win gold at both the Summer and Winter Olympics? The answer is Eddie Egan. And that's the sports for today. Kelly and Monty?
Thank you, James. Did you have any idea that was the person?
No, I had no idea.
It reminds me of Eddie the Eagle. You remember the ski jumper from the Winter
Not
Olympics?
At all. Talk about it.
Well, let's go on then. Well, we're celebrating today. This is our 250th show. Later, we'll talk with some people who worked on the program during its early years.
And famous people have been immortalized in different ways. We found a garage wall that is adorned with the faces of stars. That story is next on Studio One.
Address your workforce training needs through the Workforce Training Partnership between Lake Region State College and the University of North Dakota. Both institutions have joined together to provide training in computer applications, management and supervision, the trades, and much more. The partnership also provides customized training programs to fit the specific needs of your business or industry. For more information, contact the Workforce Training Partnership Office at Lake Region State College or the University of North Dakota.
UND's Conflict Resolution Center is your regional training resource for conflict transformation and prevention. Conflict is inevitable in the business world. Your ability to manage it is key to your success. That's where we can help. We provide on-site training, mediation, and facilitation services customized for your organization. The UND Conflict Resolution Center, capturing the positive energy of conflict and transforming it into human potential.
Explore the educational opportunities available through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota. With just one phone call or a click of the mouse, you'll find high-quality programs designed for today's adults. We have a large selection of continuing education courses that are available at a time and place that's convenient for you. Discover a world of learning through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
You're watching Studio One, twice named the best college television show in the nation by the National Association of College Broadcasters.
The Sesame Street characters are not slowing down with old age. The colorful gang has been entertaining children for 33 seasons. This year, we'll start with a few exciting changes that will change the look of the show. We wanted your thoughts of who happens to be your favorite Sesame Street character.
I'd have to say that Oscar's my favorite Sesame Street character. He's kind of minds his own business, and he's not a big wussy puppet all the time.
Toss up between two, but I'll pick Cookie Monster over Kermit. And Cookie Monster because I like his C is for Cookie song.
Snuffleupagus because he's a very nice person, and I like that about people.
And sometimes he makes some songs when it's time when the animal's over.
I'd be the Cookie Monster because I have a lot of respect for his ability to eat cookies in a hurry.
Snuffy because I used to have a puppy named Snuffy.
Cookie Monster, because, he had the crazy googly eyes that go everywhere, when you shake his head. And
I like Snuffleupagus because he's just cute and he's really nice to everybody.
Probably Ernie because he was always really funny, making fun of Bert.
A garage is one of the last places you would look for fine art. One North Dakota man is creating just that in his own garage using some common items and a lot of creativity.
Walking into Lynn Hughes' woodshop is a little intimidating. Celebrities like Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, and Frank Sinatra stare down from their spots on the wall, giving Lynn's visitors the eerie feeling that they're being watched. These lifelike portraits of celebrities are created with two very common items, thin birch wood and a scroll saw. Lynn began creating these pieces of art after he brought home his first scroll saw from a pawn shop a couple of years ago. Even Lynn himself is amazed at the detailed portraits he's created with such a simple device.
I can't believe how I've made use of something that's so inexpensive and, you know, a lot of people probably have sitting in their garage and don't realize that it does more than just cut out simple shapes.
A scroll saw consists of a blade about as thin as a pencil lead and a platform on which to turn the wood to make cuts. Before he sits down at the saw, Lynn creates a pattern on his computer. The pattern is then glued onto a piece of wood, giving Lynn an outline to trace while cutting with the saw. Lynn does more than just celebrity portraits. He also cuts portraits of regular people by request, using pictures they send to him as guides. Lynn's wife, Chris, has also created several pieces of art with a scroll saw.
It looked like fun, and it didn't look hard, and I liked what came out of it. You take a plain old piece of wood and you get a really beautiful artwork when you're done.
As Lynn's woodshop receives more requests for portraits through his new website, Lynn looks forward to creating many more lifelike faces. With photographer Jamie Morlock, this is Jennifer Wallace reporting for Studio One.
Lynn says many people like to have portraits of their grandchildren done as keepsakes. He says one man wanted him to repeat the process year after year. That way he would have a wooden archive of his grandchildren growing up. Stay with us. We'll take a look back at the history of our program as we celebrate Studio One's 250th show.
Let your job experience help you earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering Degree Program offers the only ABET-accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through videotape and other technologies.
Allows you to have a class whenever you like.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines, teaming up to bring quality education to your door.
Future a bit cloudy? Get a brighter picture at UND Aerospace and the University of North Dakota. World-class training programs endorsed by major airlines, an extraordinary fleet of aircraft, and learning facilities second to none make UND Aerospace the largest collegiate aviation program in North America. Begin your future in the aviation industry. Explore programs in space studies or computer science. Soar into the atmospheric sciences. It's all here at UND Aerospace. What's in your future? UND Aerospace, clearly the leader in aviation education.
The School of Law at the University of North Dakota. This is a unique place, a place where you can learn with some of the best technology, where you can talk to the faculty in small class settings, a place where student activity groups enhance your education, a place which offers interaction with the court system, an affordable place where you can gain all the skills you need to get a job. Take your place at the University of North Dakota School of Law. Phone 1-800-CALL-UND.
Why should I go to the University of North Dakota School of Engineering and Mines? Is it the small class sizes and personal attention I'll get from the faculty and staff? Is it the hands-on student projects my friends and I will work on? Is it the professional internship programs that'll help me prepare for my future career? Maybe I just want to be a part of something amazing.
Find out for yourself what makes the UND School of Engineering and Mines the perfect choice for your engineering degree. Call 1-800-CALL-UND. That's 1-800-CALL-UND.
This is our 250th show. This represents more than 14 years of programs, more than 400 student interns, and hundreds of individual and show awards celebrating a lot of hard work. Someone who has been there since the beginning is University of North Dakota Director of Television, Barry Brody. Thanks you for coming on the show today. Usually you're behind the scenes, Barry.
That's right.
And we're celebrating our 250th today.
Yeah.
How did it all start and why?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting story. It was back in 1986 that we started talking about this, and it was really a student's idea. A student came into us at the time and said, why don't we have something where there's really an in-depth experience, especially for on-air people? Our department had just gone through a major reorganization at that time, and the timing was right. He brought in a great plan, we started it, and in February of 1987, we went on board with our first show.
And you've often said that this project is much more than just a television show. What do you mean when you say that?
Yeah, it is. It has become that. In the beginning, we were more concerned about simply how to do this, but as it evolved, we found out that there were some very important pieces that developed. Teamwork, professionalism, communication, working with students to understand journalistic integrity and ethics. All of those things really evolved over a period of time, and our hope is that when students come and work here, they're gaining very valuable skills that they don't necessarily have to use if they're going into television or marketing. You can use them really wherever you go. So that piece has been really exciting to see how that's evolved.
Yeah, you often talk to alumni and they do say that. It doesn't matter what they're doing now, it kind of all carries over. Now, this is a significant thing for us, 250 shows. What about earlier? Were there other significant things that have happened for the show?
Well, there really were, and along the way I can think of two that in my mind were really other milestones. One was very back in the early years in the 80s. We did our first satellite link-up with Washington, D.C., and we talked to North Dakota Senator Kent Conrad. He was in a studio in Washington. Our interviewer was here in our studio. It was very difficult to do at that time, and really what happened from that was every show that we do today uses that same technology. When we link up to that weather studio, we use the same technology. It's become very commonplace now. The other big one really was the building that we're in right now, the Rural Technology Center. We had a great opportunity to be part of this project, work with an architect to design it, and it really has given us some opportunities that we would not have had if we weren't part of this building.
And before we were in this building, we were in an older building on campus, Robertson Hall. Could you explain how it was back then?
Yeah, well, that was really, in fact, it is one of the oldest buildings on our campus, and it was quite a challenge working in that facility. Not designed at all to do what we were doing with technology. We have on campus a great organization now called Facilities, back then called Plant Services, that really helped us get that facility up to speed. It served us very well for many years.
Now, there's a lot of rewarding parts about working with Studio One, but for you, what's one of the most rewarding parts?
Well, certainly, as this thing has developed, I think student achievement has really been something that has been amazing to me. I think we learned along the way that if you set high expectations for student performance, not only will they meet those expectations, but in many instances, they will exceed them. It's been great to see that happen. We have wonderful alumni members that are very supportive of what we're doing here. And many of them are doing things now that they did when they were interns at Studio One. And we have this network that has developed that we didn't even think of back when Studio One started. And I know many of them are right here in the audience today.
That's right. And we're going to go and talk to them. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing the little bit of history that you did. We're going to go over to the studio audience now and talk to a few of our alumni right now. We've never walked across the floor like this before, so I hope everything goes okay. You can see some of our student interns working here right now. And in our studio audience is Angela Carey's the first alum that I'm going to talk to today. Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Now, where do you work now, and what are you doing now?
I work at WDAZ TV as the head of the Creative Services Department, and that we primarily write and produce commercials.
Okay. So you're still in the television industry
Yes, I am.
When you were involved with Studio One, we're seeing a clip right now of the open of the old show back in 1990, I think it was. How was it different? What did you do back then, and how is it different from how it is today?
Well, I remember when I first had applied, I applied because I wanted to be part of the advertising staff and because my major was advertising. When I got the letter back telling me what I was going to do, it turned out that I was going to be writing news and taking care of advertising things and a lot more duties than I had first anticipated, which was really good because it really gave me a good overall broad experience.
Okay. Do you know, are there any special memories you have of Studio One when you were here?
I think just getting to know the different people, and now that we're involved with the production, and now as an alum, finding out what these people are doing today. Some of them are still working in TV, some of them aren't, but everybody that's in kind of a different kind of type of communication career. And it's just, you know, connecting up with them and seeing where their majors have taken them over the years.
Yeah,
so.
well, we're glad that you could be here today to tell us how it was way back when, if I could say that. And we're going to move on to Monica now, sitting beside you. Monica Evavold, you were a team leader when you were here for the advertising and public relations team. It's called the marketing team now.
Okay.
And you're still in marketing today, aren't you?
I sure am. Yes, I am. I actually just started recently my own little ad agency, and I, by choice, have only one client, which is our local racetrack, the River City Speedway, and I do everything there that I actually started doing here, doing all of the marketing planning and the sales and the media buying and the promotions of it. It's absolutely wonderful.
And we see a picture of you with your advertising and public relations team from back when you were here. Your hair looks a little bit different.
Thanks a lot.
Well, when you think back to what you did with that team, what about the friendships you made? You know, do you still keep in touch with people?
Absolutely, I do. I miss them a lot. We had an absolutely great team. Actually, I have a funny story I'd like to share. Looking at that picture, there was one pretty eccentric person on that team, and our meetings, we get together weekly, and they were pretty serious meetings, and I was very driven and pretty serious and wanted everything to go perfect. Well, one of our team members was obviously thought I need to lighten up a little bit, and at one meeting he brought a box of Play-Doh and Play-Doh models, and the kind where you put the Play-Doh in the head and you push down and the hair comes out. And well, we were pretty much left alone for the most part at these meetings. Well, it was one particular meeting that the Play-Doh came to our meetings. Barry Brody decided to come and see how we were doing, and I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble now. And he said, well, this is how the creative people work, and he was really great about it, and so it was a great team, and I miss him a lot.
Good. Well, thank you for coming on the show today. It was neat talking to you.
Thank you.
Derek Walters, he's another alum, and you were here a few years ago. You were the news anchor and a news reporter, and I think you were just as tall back then as you are now.
I don't think I've grown in.
Yeah, and we actually have a clip of you doing some news anchoring on Studio One. When you were here, you know, you're in television now today. What is your job?
I work for KXJB TV, CBS4. I work in the Grand Forks Bureau office, and doing a lot of live shots and reporting, daily reporting, and then I get opportunities to go and fill in Fargo as an anchor as well. I've done the noon show, and then we had a short project up here in Grand Forks where I got some anchoring experience as well, so it's going good.
And how did the skills that you learned here, did they transfer all right over into the television world?
Let me tell you, I knew you were going to ask this question, and there's always a learning curve when you get a new job, but coming from Studio One and going into a television job, that learning curve is a lot less. You know, of course, you always have new things to learn, but after being here at Studio One, I was able to step right in and start the first week, the first day even, shooting news stories and producing stuff. So that in itself says a lot about what you offer here.
All right. Well, and you also met your wife here, and that's a pretty neat thing. We're going to be back in a little bit, and we're going to share one last surprise for you. Thank you all for coming on the show today.
The University of North Dakota has a rich history of retaining and graduating American Indian students. UND offers 26 American Indian programs, more than any other higher education institution in the U.S. The support services provided by Native American programs enhance student success. Native American programs offer tutoring, academic advising, and financial aid assistance, which makes UND a leader in Indian education. For more information, call 1-800-CALL-UND.
Let your job experience help you earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering Degree Program offers the only ABET-accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through videotape and other technologies.
Allows you to have a class whenever you like.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines, teaming up to bring quality education to your door.
Are you a parent looking for childcare? Do you know what good childcare looks like? Do you provide childcare and have questions? Does childcare affect your business? Do you have employees who are concerned about childcare? Doesn't every child deserve quality child care? Any questions? Call Child Care Resource and Referral.
Voller Insurance partners with you in protecting what matters most. For more than 50 years, Voller has built its reputation on its people, its clients, and a commitment to VIP service. Voller Insurance, Fargo, Bismarck, Grand Forks. Voller Insurance understands that the strength of its people is its greatest asset. People that tailor insurance protection that meets your needs. That's the key to VIP service. Voller Insurance, Fargo, Bismarck, Grand Forks.
Kelly, do you know what's coming up next week for guests?
For guests, I believe we do have an interesting doctor that's going to be coming on the show, so that'll be a lot of fun.
That's right. It's at Borders Without Doctors. And with that, it's an interesting program where they go over into countries that need special medical attention, and they can help people who need it the most. We'll see you later.